Hey, welcome everybody to the Horsepower Island Autumn Development Series. Yeah, Autumn Development Series. No, we're not in a time warp. It's the what we couldn't get done last autumn. Yes, COVID lockdown. Last autumn compromised this series, and it's great to see these young horses and their professional and elite producers. The opportunity here at Orla and Pat Pearce's lovely Wexford Equestrian facility. And then, of course, on to Barnadown there next week. It gives these young horses very, very valuable experience. As regards the equine herpes protocols, all those returning from Europe, please check the Horsepower Ireland website. All the protocols are there, and we're very, very conscious of all these protocols. As regards the COVID protocols, yep, the 3 Olympic disciplines have been given parity with the racing industry here. No doubt helped by the fact that Ireland has qualified all 3 teams for the Tokyo Olympics. Yes, dressage, show jumping and eventing all represented for Ireland at Tokyo coming up hopefully this year. These protocols have also prevented, like racing, these horses' owners from attending, and owners are our backbone of the sport, and hopefully we'll get to see them at all the events as soon as possible. Thanks to Horseboard Ireland and to Eventing Ireland for the valued support in these classes, which will showcase these youngsters to such a wide audience. The Irish Sport Horse Stud Book, of course, has dominated the world rankings for so long now and faced very strong competition for these leading rankings. These young horse competitions are so valuable to set important foundations to what hopefully can become championship horses. Thanks to HSI, thanks to TRM, great sponsors TRM, Thoroughbred Remedies, manufacturers, and also title sponsors of the Show Jumping Spring Tour, TRM. Many, many thanks for your sponsorship for this live stream. Great to welcome, we've got some great guest speakers here. And Sally Corskadden helping us with these 7-year-olds. Eventing high performance director and manager of the senior Irish eventing team, Sally, a top international rider in her own time, and now a multiple medal winning coach. So lucky to have her on board here. Team Silver at the last World Equestrian Games in Tryon. What a result. What a great medal-winning performance there in Tryon, USA. And now preparing, of course, the Tokyo Olympic squad. And then later on this year, great the Europeans. Sally, a quick word on our Olympic squad.
Hi, Chris. Yeah, thank you for that introduction. It's, they're working hard. It's great. There is more certainty around the Olympics going ahead, and that's really helped, give the riders a focus to get them, sort of reinvigorated. We trained away last year, and we did as much as we could with the protocols, and then we took a little bit of a break in December and came back with, we're going to hit the ground running. And again, it wasn't as easy as we thought it was going to be with the restrictions, but we've managed to really keep the team connected using online training and doing various workshops, and there's a real good squad feeling, and they're they're very focused and they're training hard. And we've decided, if we're going to do this, we've got to be adaptable, we've got to be flexible, and we've just got to make things happen when we're allowed to make them happen. Having something like this competition going ahead is just vital. With the horses missed so much last year, it's so important in their training to education, developing these young horses to have competitions. And it's such to miss 6 months in what's a career that's maybe possibly 10 years is a big chunk of time, so especially in their development. So it's really, really fantastic that Horseboard Ireland have managed to get parity with racing, and that we can have these competitions in level 5 and with the strict protocols, and that we can actually train the Olympic squad. It's just a huge boost for us.
Good on you. These horses, they've already had on screen, they've already had their dressage and show jumping, thanks to our dressage judges, Lynn Cassidy and Lisanne Cairns. And their show jumping, they come straight in from the show jumping in here. And the first one's in straight away, Gorse Hill Amy, horse number 1, bred by Anne Bannon, hence that lovely Gorse Hill prefix. This mare, she's by Chippison, Marie Burke's great metre 60 show jumper, Chippison Cavalier Royale horse. And then out of Gorse Hill Magic, by the great Master Imp himself, going back to a mare by the Thoroughbred Vividari. Won the Frankfurt metre 10 last year on a dressage score 16.8. 35 starters that day on a dressage score 16.8. A lovely filly this. Gorse Hill Amy for Anne Bannon, for Ian Cassels.
You can see Ian, he's a very professional rider, produces a lot of young horses, rides them in a lovely balance. You see this horse is well trained, it's listening to him, working with him, enjoying itself. It's perfect to get this little outing for it for the start of the season. Can just get it jumping cross-country fences in a safe environment. Nice introduction just to build their confidence, and he should be moving up this spring, hopefully, with enjoying himself.
Yeah, coming in on a score 34.75, 30.75 dressage score, just one rail down to give him that 34.75. Loving to watch Ian ride. He had a batch of real good horses yesterday. Master Point, of course, winning the Ballindenisk International 2-star. Had to be careful there, to sit a little tight there.
Yes. You can see how experienced Ian is, and he just quickly slipped his reins. He didn't really lose his positional balance, didn't unsettle the horse, and now he's got it really balanced again to a lovely jump over that fence. Good riding.
He's one of our winning most riders of last year. He had some season last year. He's got a nice batch of horses, nice youngsters like this Gorsil Amy. And Bannon, of course, a long-time patron of Ian and a great breeder. I love these homebreds, and she's got a nice one here, hasn't she?
Absolutely. Oh, now we can see it in slow motion. She jumped in well. She's just got a big stride, just getting, easing up the ground and just getting a fraction close coming out. But that's what, they've got to think for themselves, be quick with their feet, and learn to, sort of sort themselves out at these things. And they have to be allowed to make mistakes. I don't mind a horse makes a mistake at this size.
You haven't got balance until you can lose it and regain it, I think. Isn't that right? That's sure thing. In for number 2, Santiago Steppe. Yes, bred by Thomas Merrigan in County Wicklow, owned and ridden by Alex Donoghue. This is a daughter of Murmazar by the great Burgraf. Yes, sire of DSL, the Professor, Brian Marco, and a host of others. Exantus, out of an Aldata Z mare, going back to a Skyboy mare, going back to a Prince Roy mare. Beautiful dam line, this own brother to Santiago Sky, to Santiago Bay, 5-star horse. Winner of Jardy, 4-star. Santiago Step.
Yes. Super breeding there, and again you can see a nicely produced horse, a lovely rider, Alex Donoghue. She's come up through our system, the same as Ian Cassell's, through the juniors and young riders. She's a medal-winning junior and young rider. Lots of it, feel, lots of balance, gives the horse a nice ride. Gives it time there just to see what it's doing going into the water. You can see the horse got its ears pricked, it's enjoying itself. A little bit keen, but in a nice way.
Good ground cover as well on the Santiago Step, this mare.
Yes, you can see her really being able to cover the ground, open up when she's out on a full cross-country course. Something to look forward to, hopefully in the next couple of weeks.
She was well placed at novice last year. She's got 7 points to date, so she's made a lively start to her career.
Well, you can see she's well schooled and should be, solid in all 3 phases. She's a nice mover. She's brave, so she's a good, that's what they've got to be in this day and age.
But lovely for these mares as well, to see real performance mares as well. And in her time, when she goes to the paddocks, she has some high performance to back her up. Just a little bit of a satellite moment, of what you call it, and redirection, just finding her way through to the finish.
She's through now. We can't blame the horse for that one.
Not at all, but I love a youngster. Look at that.
Yeah, see the way she's trotting.
Lovely loose step to her as well.
Yeah.
Love a horse to be brave as well when they see a fence and commit, and she certainly commits.
Yeah, you can see she's got a big stride, but she's good. She's lovely shape and clean in front and clean behind there. So she's doing it. Yep, should be one you'd like to see going on.
And she will do, from a high performance family, beautifully related. Number 3 in is Into Mischief Bred by Brianne Stanley, a lovely character, Brianne. She's a great breeder as well. And the 7-year bay gelding by OBUS Quality, the sire, of course, of last year's Grafton Street, the Burley winner of last year, and a host of others. Out of Savannah Twist, a mare that Brianne produced herself, well up to novice levels, by Olympic Lux the Dam, going back to a Quinta de Bussy and a Jalisco top Self Francais line on the dam side. Ran in two-star internationals last year, 6 points to date into Mischief.
Yeah, you can see this is a different type of horse to the first two. She's a little bit greener, a little bit sharper. You can see she sort of falls a little bit out the shoulder. So but side's giving her a nice ride, not rushing, keeping her settled. This sort of competition is ideal for a horse that's a little bit sharp like this, no pressure. You can just see it's really getting the rideability between the fences to help her sort of with her performance, how she's going to prove. You can see she's sort of falling out there at the corner a little bit more outside leg. But she focuses on her jump. She's very nice over the jump. There's good balance there. But again, a little bit sharp, a little bit spooky. Just veers a little bit off the course. You can see her coming into the water again. Yep, she's just when she has a look at something, she just goes a little bit sideways. So that's something. She can watch this and give herself some homework, how to keep the horse straight.
Well done, because when you go up the levels again through those combinations, you can't lose that straightness. Good shot at that second last. Lovely jumping.
Yeah, there's lots of potential there. So just a little bit more homework to do.
Yeah, spooky. Yeah,
spooky. A little bit sharp, but she's brave. Jumps in, maybe. Yep, just again, big stride for a little horse and just runs herself a bit deep. But she was clever.
Sally, would the spookiness make him more careful over a show jump? She jumped a lovely clear this morning.
Not necessarily, because it's spookiness. It tends to make them actually a little bit tense, a little bit tight. So then they don't always finish the jump. Yeah.
Well, good thinking. And we wish her well, Sive. And on to number 5. 5 is the classic Sportsfield, that famous Sportsfield prefix of Paul Donovan's. He's riding here, of course, bred by Siobhan McGuinness up in Mayo. By Murmasar, this classic Sportsfield, 7-year bay gelding. Murmas, the sire of a DSL, the Professor, Brahil Marco, global mentor. Yeah, out of her high roller mare. Half brother to a 3-star eventer in Italy.
Is that the Swedish high roller?
Yes, it's the Cavalier Royale high roller. There are two. One's for straight thoroughbred, and the other is by Cavalier Royale.
Again, because a lot of people know Paul Donovan. Been on the circuit a long time. Great producer of horses. Great man to bring on a horse and give it a good ride cross country. You can see he's again taking his time, keeping it balanced, giving it time to see the water. It's a big striding horse. So it was good. He sort of let it trot through the water because it's only a little step up and you don't want it to miss its step coming out. It's only sort of 2 strides across there.
He let him find his own balance in there, didn't he? It's a good idea.
Yes. Yeah, because it's all about early in the year. It's about educating them. He's giving the horse plenty of time to see what it's doing. A little bit quiet. Yeah, it's much greener than the other two. But it's honest. It's taking its time, but it's still thinking forward. It's getting a bit disunited there. I wouldn't say dressage is his favourite, Faith. Oh, super jump there.
He backed off that last one and popped it well. Love to see a horse being able to shorten in front of a fence when they need to, and he does. And if he's on the green side, there's no doubt. Paul gives him a pat, and He's produced some top ones,
Again,
the great Connaughton and all the
oh,
rest,
absolutely.
Rolex winners.
Yeah, no, it's a big horse and it's got a big stride, lots of scope, so it's much better to give it time. You see, then it's looking, yeah, you'd like that, the way it's looking at coming out and measuring what it's doing with its feet coming out the water. Yeah, and a big jump
So I'd
here.
call him a big raw horse. I love it, just on the make. Great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Next in, number 7, RVS Soprendo, bred by John Mahoney down in Kerry. Owned and ridden by Kira Power. Traditionally bred this seed by Bohart Hill Clover. The son of Clover Hill and regular guy. It's a lovely sire. He's been a great, great sire there in Tipperary, Bohart Hill Clover. And then out of a mare by Fahavan Arctic Star, going back to Arctic Q. Maternal Gramsire going back to Carnival Night. Oh, lovely. I love Carnival Night.
Yeah.
Top 10 in Punchestown Novice. Third in the Michael Leonard. That's a very valuable young horse futurity at Ballindennis during the International last September. Finished third. Really caught the eye. I love the way he quickened his way home as well. He's a real blood horse. RVS Soprendo.
Yeah, it's great to see a traditional Irish horse and that great bloodlines there. You can see he's really quality. Lovely attitude. Just going in a snaffle. Kira again is, produced a lot of very nice young horses. Whoop. Just lost a, he had a little look, did a big jump in, just lost a stirrup, but she's experienced enough that she can carry on. Good
She and Johnny,
there.
they produce lovely horses, don't they? The grandson,
Yes.
the Pointstown horses as well. Great producers.
Yeah, and she always gives them plenty of time. Yeah, he's got a great brain. He's looking where he's putting his feet. A little bit of left leg there. Again, it's lovely to see these riders.
Go on, Sally.
Sorry, you go, Chris.
And Baldennis gave him a good test there. And this was one of the few horses that really quickened over those last 4 or 5 fences. He opened up the throttle. I love to see it. Some horses worry me that they made hard work of coming home. This horse, he relished it. He opened up some proper gears. He really caught the eye.
Yeah, so that's it. Yeah. No, he's lovely. And it's that extra bit of blood. That's what people are, if you want a horse to go up the grades, that's what you definitely need.
Unless your horse traveling, easy traveling. Travels easy. That's what I want to write in my book. Travels easy.
Yeah, you can see he's nice and light on his feet. Plenty of scope. He knows what he's doing. He's learning. Coming out that water. Yeah, and that's very, very easy for him.
No, I look forward to him during the season. That's for sure.
You can see his lovely stride there. Good with the hind legs.
Good. Coming in, we welcome in number 8, Dennis Dorada. Written and owned by Patrick Whelan, another good young horse producer. This young fella going places, Patrick. This horse, this mare by BGS Ocean View, and son of Grange Bouncer, and a Power Blade mare going back to a cruising, going back to a 40s field. And of course, BGS Ocean View, he's bred a right one. He bred Kilcandra Ocean Power. Michael Young's very good Go for Gold graduate, won Pretoni 3-star long there back into last year. And he noted that Kilcandra Ocean Power was his best young horse so far. And so he, by the same sire, BGS Ocean View, won an Anna Harvey novice there last year on a dressage score 27. And he's looking good here, number 8.
Yes, again, yeah, Patrick's a super rider cross country. Really gives horses confidence. He's got great balance. Just a little bit green there, hanging back to the other horses, but it's probably the first day out. But it's got great technique over a fence. Again, it's nice to see these riders. They're just keeping the horses in a nice rhythm. They're not rushing them. They're giving them time. It's not so as easy to ride them in a small arena with so many questions as it is actually out on a proper cross country where you can get into a really good rhythm and they have more time between the fences. Everything comes a little bit quickly.
Like an indoor Grand Prix.
Yes, exactly. You see again, this was is lovely. That's it, when he can keep flowing to the fence, keeps a nice rhythm, open up. See, that's super there, isn't it? You'd like that.
Yeah.
Lovely loose
and so does
trot.
Patrick.
He does.
Yeah, came in on a 37.25, clear show jumping. So in contention here is Dennis Down Dorada. Good and brave in. They don't know how deep the water is. They got to find their feet and find their balance. Lovely fold coming out as well. Yeah. I wonder he went clear show jumping. And he keeps a good balance on that turn as well, Sally.
He does, and because he's really got a really good hind leg there. It's really coming up underneath him. That'll help him spring off the ground.
Well done, Patrick. Yes, on to 9. Killaloe and Tess. Back to Ian Cassell's here, bred by Owen Cooney in Tipperary, owned by Sarah Dowley, good rider herself, Sarah. And this chestnut mare, 7-year-old by Cobra, son of the great Cathargo, on the capital line. And then the dam line, Carrigan Carroll by Harlequin de Corral, out of an Olympic Lux. So it's all Ballymarine breeding on the dam side. Half to Carrigan Moors. Could meet a 30 pony show jumper with Katie Power. Up to novice there last year and to 2-star international with Sarah, and comes in today on a 36.25.
Yeah. So you can see this horse is a bit more experienced. The way it's cantering, it's able to shorten a little bit easier. Ian's giving it a nice, lovely balance there. Keeps a nice rhythm, doesn't over jump or hesitate going into the water. So it's got more confidence. Got a flying change. So you see, it's just a bit further ahead in its education. But again, it's good, just to get this outing is so important to give them a good start for the season.
Excellent. Now, well done, Orla and Pat Pear here at Wexford Equestrian and Horseboat Ireland for letting it all happen. Smashing going into the water.
Yeah. Yeah, it's easier just to shorten this horse a little bit, so you can just see it's just that little bit more educated and the way it can balance and carry itself compared to a couple of the earlier ones. And then you can let it smoothly open up. Ian's giving it a lovely ride there, wasn't he? Yeah. Hardly moving
lovely
his hands.
Soft. I was going to say it's lovely soft hands. See that as well.
Yes.
I said to Sally, the horse's prayer for me, it's a full tummy and a soft pair of hands. I love it, and this is what a horse prays for every night, and he gets it here with Ian every time. Well done, Ian. And well done, Sarah Dowley. You got a lovely youngster here, Killaloe and Tess.
Yeah, you can see Ian just sitting up, lovely position there, getting his weight back to give the horse room to come up out the water, so it doesn't get on top of that log coming out.
Yeah, and to get the right lead coming out of the water to keep the balance, make the balance easier on the turn. Super jumping. Yeah. Well done, Bit Media. Lovely slow motion shots. The judges, of course, haven't seen these slow motion shots as we're seeing, and there's no hiding place on these slow motion shots, but we love them. Fantastic. Yeah. Next in is number 11. Mike Ryan, Olympic Mike Ryan. Yes, this Clara Ooh La La, exciting horse here of Nicholas Pomeroy's, bred by Joseph Henry O'Reilly. Another by OBUS Quality. Sire Grafton Street, BGS Class Affair, Monbeg Exclusive, OBUS O'Reilly, etc., etc. Comes in on a very good score of 35. Out of a Caroline Kitty, a Master Rip Mare, out of a Cavalier Royale, out of a Golden Bash, out of a King of Diamonds. Beautiful, beautiful bloodlines. Own brother to DHS Showtime. This horse won the RDS Young Event Horse Championships as a 5-year-old. Won Grove on the dressage score 29.5. That was a novice event. It's lovely to see horses winning at Grove. It augurs very well. Clara Oolala.
Yeah, so of course Mike's, a very experienced rider, and he's giving, a good partnership with this horse. He's produced it nicely from a 5-year-old. You say it's got that experience from doing the Young Event Horse Series and going to the RDS and then winning the events last year. So yeah, he can just move up nicely. You can see the horse is very confident in what it's doing.
Yes, that Young Event Horse Championship, the YES series, culminating in that final in Dublin, it gives him great international ring experience there in the main ring Dublin Horse Show. And this fella, he owned that ring and he won it nicely.
Yeah, that's very nice. Again, Mike's, just keeping him in a nice rhythm, keeping him balanced between the leg and the hand, giving him time to jump the fence out of his stride. Just popping. You can see he's very comfortable doing this, can't you? Just open up there. Lovely.
No, exciting start this. Finished second in the Michael Leonard 5 and 6 years last year as well. A very talented youngster here by OBOS.
So you can see that horse is very confident. He can just measures how much he needs to jump into the water and just pop out. He's not wasting any energy on the correct leg, all coming round there. That's super balance. Keeping a lovely rhythm, ears pricked. He's just enjoying himself, isn't he, Chris?
Yeah, absolutely. But to get into the right hands, these horses is so huge for them, and it means so much to them. We're on to number 13, Port Sunshine. Oh, I love this horse. He's a straight thoroughbred horse. He was bred by Donald Brazel. He's by the thoroughbred stallion Urban Poet, a Dynaformer stallion, and that makes him a half-brother to Pulpit, champion sire in America. 4th in the Lisgarvin meter last year, and 8th in the Kilokee CCI 1-star intro there last year. Gave us our leading dressage score of 30.25. One rail down, opens the door a little.
Oh, it's lovely to see a thoroughbred.
Oh, yes.
Sorry, Chris.
Yes, no, Amanda Goldsbury rode him and produced him beautifully there last year, and Mike's got the ride here now. Does a smashing job. How easy he covers the ground.
Yes, I competed thoroughbreds myself, and they are a favourite of mine. It's good brains when you get one with they're so quick to learn. He seems to really be enjoying this and taking everything in his stride.
Aye.
He's covering the ground really easy.
That thoroughbred blood, it gives him... Yeah?
Yeah, he's just a little bit quicker than everybody else, but in a nice rhythm.
I think that thoroughbred blood gives him forward thinking, forward going. A horse that's forward thinking is forward going, and you see it from the ears and the ease of travel.
Absolutely. Yeah, he's actually got he would have a slightly shorter stride than the others, but he's very quick. It's interesting, so we've been playing around with performance analysis and stride measurement, and quite often actually the shorter striding horses are the quicker ones because you don't have to set them up as much for the fences.
Absolutely. But thoroughbreds, we got Cheltenham coming up there this week, and for those racing pundits you want to watch, if you don't watch Cheltenham, you should. It's the most gorgeous thing. It's the top level of championship national hunt racing coming up here from tomorrow. And this horse here, we love our thoroughbreds, and there's a huge, strong team gone across from Ireland to contest the very best at Cheltenham this week. Look forward to them. Next, we welcome in, yes, another thoroughbred blood sort of horse. This is number 14, Grandson Mr. Big, bred by Anne Hussey up in Mayo, owned by Kira Power and written by Johnny Witcher. traditionally bred Irish, by the thoroughbred stallion, Mr. Big Cat. He was a Brazilian thoroughbred that Clayton Fredericks brought up into 1 and 2 stars. The sire. The dam sire of grandson Mr. Big was by our grandpa out of a Castana out of Ufela. So it'd be Irish draft thoroughbred cross, this horse. Got up to novice there last year. Second in the Cricquara pre-novice. Grandson Mr. Big comes in at a score 39.75.
Yeah, it's lovely to see the way I love a horse that looks before it leaps into water, just measuring, looks shows a sign of intelligence of a young horse.
Yeah.
They
It's a
look,
good
but they're
idea
still-
too, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. Look before you leap. Oh,
He
nearly
was
went the
looking
wrong
onto
way.
the fence for a moment.
Yes, he wanted. Now we've got a really high standard here, Chris, haven't we? These horses are well schooled, doing everything neatly, well produced.
Yeah, a lovely bunch here, 7-year-olds and 6-year-olds and 5-year-olds still to come. If you can stay with us, because we have, as Sally says, some cracking horses in here.
Yeah, and it's such an important part of their education to get these courses to go around and no pressure on them, just letting them sort of learn the job, be quick with their feet.
And lovely footing there as well for this time of the year, isn't it, Sally? On the all-weather surfaces, obviously. It's a beautiful facility that Orla and Pat have done. And Pat Perry is the designer of the track here for us. And well done, Pat. It's jumping well, as you'd have known it did.
So he actually adds a stride in here. But the horse can shorten and just pop out. So that's it. They've got to be able to do both. They've got to be able to go forward and they've got to be able to collect. And what was nice to see, he collected, but he was still thinking forward. Very neat there with his front legs.
Shape. I like a horse that's tight in front, yeah. And I'm a hunting man, and they need to be tight in front for what we do. We welcome in now number 15, Lates Carolier. It is bred by Tom Fitzgerald up in Kilkenny, owned by Thomas Corish and ridden by Joanne. This 7-year-old mare by Marilyn Marine Stud's Harlequin de Corral. Yes, out of a mare by Cavalier Royale, out of a mare by the thoroughbred Evros. Evros is son of champion Myler Chris. Comes in on a score of 40.5. Caught the eye there in the Ballindennis there last September, running the 2-star short there.
Again, she's a big horse, isn't she? Big stride, lots of scope. Looks a little bit keen. Yeah, big jump in. Definitely looks like something, produced nicely. She looks like she's got lots of scope, could go up the grades.
And that's what we're trying to identify in these young horse futurities, isn't it? I love it at the end of the day when you get into our training classes and to see something that can go up the grades, and a lovely make and model, this Harlequin de Corral.
Yeah. God, I always love a mare with big ears. She's got nice big ears. Keeps them forward.
A sign of honesty, Sally? A sign of honesty?
Yes, absolutely. See the way she focuses at that jump there, just takes out a stride. Yeah, it's all easy for her. She probably thinks it's not big enough.
Lovely loose step to her as well, isn't she? Lovely open shoulder, lovely easy mover.
Yeah, she was a little keen at the start, but she settled down and was enjoying herself.
Well done, Joanne, and look forward to seeing her on the great grass tracks of Ireland, and looking forward to her motoring up the grades.
Yeah. She's
You can see her
brave
on a
here,
big
isn't she?
open
The way
galloping track. Whoa.
yeah, love the way she stretches her head and neck out there and jumping in to balance herself, jump into the water. That's super.
Looking for the
That's
next
good,
fence
Mira.
then again. I love those ears. They
Yeah,
are the radar, aren't they?
yeah.
We welcome back in Ian Cassell's busy man here today. Yes, Milleridge Atlantis. This lovely 7-year-old grey gelding. Bred by Sean O'Loughlin in Kilkenny. Owned by Jerry Leahy. Ridden by Ian Cassell's. By Dinan Cascaletto. Yeah, grandson of the great Cassini. Out of a cruising mare, this Dinan Cascaletto. And then on the dam side, Kareen Sue. By Running Tynes Warrenstown U2. Out of a thoroughbred mare by Norwich. Out of a thoroughbred mare by Pitpan. Own brother to Beline Warrenstown Cruise and a half to Beline Second Chance. Two very good horses are Richard Ames. Fifth at the Punchestown Novice last year and came in on a leading score here for the cross-country phase on 32.75. Can he be beaten? Real intelligence about the horse, Sally, isn't it? Gorgeous.
Yes. Again, yes. I love his attitude. And he's going to get, a very confident ride from Ian. He knows this track now. It's his third time round.
He can take one hand off the reins and just give him a gentle pat and say, keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah. And he just gets them settled into a nice rhythm so they can have a look around but still keep thinking forward. He's got good power there. He pops off from his hind legs. Good. Yeah. It's nice to see a rider doing that, keeping the horse confident, rewarding him when he's done something right.
He's a class act, Ian, isn't he? A class act, and lovely soft pair of hands. He's got it all. And for a horse to be lucky to get all of that together, fair dues. Yeah, great. Jerry Leahy also, he's got a great eye for a horse. Has a great owner, Jerry. Well done, Jerry Leahy. Well done, Milleridge Atlantis.
Yes,
they have the winning of this.
He owned the grey horse Milleridge Kalmar that I rode at the last time I appeared for Ireland, the Europeans in.
Whoa!
Oh, this hopefully this one might go on to represent Ireland to the Europeans with Ian on board. You never know.
Well done. I think we're going to see Ian on teams, Andrew, Sally. I hope so. And that's our 7-year-olds, and I think we a lot.
Yeah, it's got lots
to look
of
forward
scope,
to,
hasn't it? Yeah.
Oh shoot, yeah. Oh, here we come. Yes, here we go. Yes, he does win. Milleridge Atlantis. Well done, Ian Cassels. Well done, Jerry Leahy. Winning on a 32.8. He's 1.5 behind the straight thoroughbred Port Sunshine. He actually led after the dressage Port Sunshine. And what promise this thoroughbred has. Yes, just one rail down. Put him on 34.3. And in third, Ian Cassels again. 2 in the top 3. Gorse Hill Amy and Bannon's Lovely Homebred. And in fourth, Michael Ryan, Clara Ulala, Callow and Tessie and Cassels to make sure he has 3 in the top 5. Well done to all our competitors. And well done to you, Sally. And Sally, a real busy year for you there. And listen, when you get back from Tokyo, will you bring the medals with you? We need those medals. And we've got Tokyo to look forward to, please God. And we've got, of course, the Europeans later on as well. Where are the Europeans, Sally? Have they decided?
Tomorrow, there should be an announcement tomorrow. So it's hopefully there's Buccolo, Avanche in Switzerland, and Montelibretti in Italy at the end, either end of September or beginning of October. So there should be a decision tomorrow from the FEI. So yeah, that's something we're really looking forward to because it's all going to happen so quickly with the World Games next year, and we've got younger combinations coming through. We need to get experience, and it'd be fantastic to have a Europeans this year. We don't want to miss out on that opportunity.
And we look forward to them. When can we see, Sally, our own the Irish horses there? Ballindennis, perhaps in the early spring.
Yes, the end of April. Yes, I was talking with Peter today, and he's working away, planning to putting in new fences, and it's a fantastic facility. Have the all-weather surface there for the dressage and show jumping, and it's of course the great galloping cross-country course. So it should be a sort of a stepping stone for us in our preparations for Tokyo, and let's hope things keep improving on the virus front, and both the horse and the human world, that we can keep competing and keep preparing and give it our best shot.
Good on you. We're lucky to have you there, Sally. Sally, have a great season for us all, and we'll be following you every step of the way, of course. Sally Coscadden, many thanks for coming on board here for this Horseport Ireland lovely eventing series. We welcome in now for our 6-year-olds. Well done, Sally. We will. Good.
Welcome to Greenogue, the soon-to-be administrative headquarters of Horseport Ireland and the new training hub for Ireland's sport horse industry. I'm here to take you on a tour of the centre's existing facilities, but also to take you through the proposed development plan for Horseport Ireland's exciting initiative. Greenogue is a newly built state-of-the-art ARA-approved centre offering the very best of facilities for all equestrian sports. Set on 30 acres, with a cross-country derby arena and 2 40 by 80 outdoor sand arenas, it also boasts a 25 by 50 metre indoor arena and a spacious American barn with 55 stables. All Horseport Ireland's high-performance training will be based here at Greenogue from March 2021. The aim is that Greenogue will become a focal hub for the training and education of the sport horse industry, helping to foster closer links within the equestrian community and bring together all 24 affiliates. The first phase of the development project will see the extension of the outdoor show jumping arena to 100 by 50 metres and the inclusion of a 5-furlong gallop. Phase 1 is due to be completed by mid-2021. The second phase of this project will focus on the construction of a new headquarters building adjacent to this arena. To be built along the existing indoor arena, this building will include access to a range of meeting rooms, conference rooms and training rooms for up to 120 people. The construction of Horseport Ireland's reproduction centre, a medical treatment room, a large cafe and restaurant will also take place. At the core of this development is the need to provide a world-class environment here in Ireland for the training and development of high-performance horses and athletes. The development of Horseport Ireland's National Training Centre will without doubt benefit the organisation in its bid to have the best horses and riders in the world.
Yes, a huge welcome here to a very strong bunch of 6-year-olds here in this Horseport Ireland and TRM sponsored class. Sean Coleman, we welcome Sean Coleman, top international rider for Ireland. Powerful string of horses under you there last year, Sean. Kate Jarvis, Lady Baton Rouge, our Campfire 3-star long winner, went up to 4-star long and had a very good placing in 4th spot in that 4-star long debut. HSI Baby, 15th in a huge 3-star long in the World Championships at the Le Lion d'Angers. Morris Coleman's exciting Pointstown star following in the footsteps of Morris's own Kilroe hero. Lady Colehurst's Blarney Acacia coming up the ranks nicely, international ranks those are. And you're always on some lovely youngsters as well, Shan. Blarney Monbeg Pepper as well, among some very smart youngsters coming on. Shan, you can see the value of these young horse classes.
Hi, Chris. Thanks. Yeah. Oh no, they're a great foundation, to produce our young horses and in a safe environment at the start of the year. And I certainly would have loved to have been there if I could. Hopefully, HSI will continue to support these classes, and so we can showcase our young horses in the future.
Well done, Shan. Well done. We've got a lovely bunch of 6-year-olds, a big strong class. And the first one in is number 47, Waverley, bred by Brendan Deegan up in County Offaly. The 6-year-old mare, ridden by Alyssa O'Neill. Traditionally bred this mare, she's by the thoroughbred Waveney, a son of the Great Green Desert. Yeah, top sprinter for Michael Stout. And on the dam line, My Diamond Shannon by Carrick Diamond Lad out of a 5-star Cruising. Yeah, Cruising on the dam side out of a Frenchwood mare, Frenchwood thoroughbred, at a Hill Tarquin mare, thoroughbred. So some nice blood coming through here. Nice and successful pre-novice last year and comes in here today on a score of 37.
Yeah, she looks a fun little thing, very active and bouncy, looking like she's enjoying her job.
You can see the blood, the thoroughbred blood showing, can't you?
Indeed, yeah. No, she's looking forward to the next fence and giving Alicia a nice ride.
Good off her hind end there as well. Love to feel the power from behind. Out of a Carrick Diamond Lad mare, Tom Jones's Great Stallion, and then out of a Cruising mare. Cruising, actually, there was a DNA sample taken off of Cruising, and he's down as 50% thoroughbred blood. He's actually 65.6 thoroughbred blood is Cruising. Isn't it great? No wonder you see these horses with Cruising influence being able to travel.
Yeah, it was nice to see her trot off the step there and give herself time. There's nothing worse if they rush off and they haven't got time to see fences afterwards. Then down the line, they could miss fences if they're coming too quick.
A piece of her martingale has come undone there, and it doesn't seem to worry her a lot. Horse or rider?
No.
Lovely soft hands from Melissa into the water.
Nice mare for the future.
Love these slow motion shots. The judges didn't get to see those slow motion shots, but we do. And it shows exactly what their highlights their technique, and a lovely technique from this traditional bred mare, Waverley. Great to see these mares out and performing, and hopefully look forward to them.
Definitely,
a real
I
successful
love
season. Another good mare coming in here, number 49, Bars King's Quality, Bayfilly by Sligo Studs King's Master, bred by Joseph Skelton and Carlo, owned and ridden by Emma Hosey. King's Master, son of the great Master Rimp himself. Going back to Imperious, of course. And on the dam side, Bars Quality by Obius Quality, out of a Weatherby's non-thoroughbred Sligo Joker. Placed a pre-novice there last year. Comes in today on a score of 34.25. That is the dressage score. Lovely clear show jumping from them this morning.
Yeah, different type of horse, this one. But she's got her ears pricked and she's looking like she's enjoying popping around this. Swishing her tail a small bit, but that doesn't seem to matter.
King's Master, of course, bred Paula King's River. Master Treadstep of Aidan Keogh. He's been such a great servant for Aidan, Master Treadstep, and now for his lovely daughter. And he's been a very good sire there for Sligo Stud.
Nice jump over that.
Both horse and rider seem to know each other well, don't they? They act and react to each other beautifully.
This looks like Paul
Sportsfield coming in,
Donovan's.
yes, number 50. Bred by Vahi Bogassian, owned by Paul Donovan, written by Carlton Gauthier. By Harlequin de Carrel, Ballymarine stud. By Harlequin de Carrel. Out of Ballinamona, Park Pippa. By Crafty Clover, son of the great Clover Hill, going back to a Flagman King mare. First competitive start to come in and a score 37.5.
This horse looks a little bit greener, but he's doing a good job to steer him round. Nice to see he hasn't got any extra gadgets on, just a snaffle bridle.
Yes, owned by Paul Donovan, written by Carlton Gauthier, lovely Frenchman that joined up with the Sportsfield yard there. He must be there a couple of seasons now, Shan, I think.
Yeah, I've seen him out and about. It's great to have the undulations on this track. Makes it more realistic to a real course.
Yes, and they've got to find their balance on the uphills and downhills. It's a lovely facility here at Wexford Equestrian.
Got good use of his shoulder, really nice and tucked up over that. Good footwork over the bank.
They've got a good horse that's good on the bank. Sean, did you jump the double bank down in Mill Street? They have a lovely bank there for all the classes there, and it's a great thing to teach a horse balance. I think those jumping banks. You jumped plenty of them went down in Juhallow country.
Yeah, no, I think they actually took it out the last time I was there. It was too wet.
It's a great test of a horse. Now we welcome in number 51, BJK Valentine, a horse that led after the dressage, 26.75 for this very smart traditional bred. Yes, bred by Michael O'Driscoll down in County Cork. Owned and ridden by Christine O'Donnell. This BJK Valentine, 6-year-old, by Guatemala studs, lovely thoroughbred Craig Steele. Craig Steele, a son of Suave Dancer out of Atlanta Gold. That brings the Mill Reef blood coming in on the dam side of Craig Steele. Side of many winners on the track and point of points, Craig Steele. Out of a Clover Dove mare, going back to a Mr. Lord mare, going back to a Kildalton Gold, and a Sarah Digeon. Love to see Sarah Digeon in the pedigree here.
Yeah, it looks to be a really athletic, bold horse and beautifully turned out by Christine.
She's a great pilot, Christine. Yeah, she rode on at least two young rider Europeans. And holding her own in some very strong company here as well. Came in on a leading score, 26.75. Had one rail down. Does it leave the door open enough for them to catch her up? This is an exciting horse, Shan, isn't it?
Moved that one. Yeah. That was perfect. Really nice copybook over the bank.
You can see him coming out of the start box of a top international, can't you? He's model and type and go.
Definitely.
See this slow motion now. Led after the dressage, 26.75. One rail down. Has he opened up the door? Has he let anybody in? We're going to find out soon enough. Good looking horse. I know Sean Donovan's watching down in Australia, and his family, of course, had Craig Steele. They have a very good sire, thoroughbred sire, replacing him there now. Darcy, winner of the Croker Cup there at the RDS. Darcy, a very exciting thoroughbred stallion, standing now in Guatemala, replacing the great Craig Steele. Next in, we welcome in The 53 is Altito. Altito, another nicely placed horse. Yep, 30.75. They come in on their score. This Altito, bred by Seamus Carew Tipperary, owned and ridden by Patrick Whelan. 6-year-old bay gelding by Orestes, Olympic Orestes. Yes, meter 50 horse, brilliant horse. Meter 60 horse, Orestes. Sire of Kilcandra Capital. Looked so good with Susie Berry and Lilian there in the autumn. And then on the dam side, you got Happy Choice, the dam, by Aram, out of a Voltaire mare. The dam jumped to a meter 20. So performance coming through on the dam side nicely. First time up this Altito.
Yeah, Paddy's doing a great job on him. He's a bit green to start with and kangarooing over a few of them. But he's learning as he's going around. He's got very long legs. He's going to be a lovely big horse to be moving up the levels.
Nice attitude on him as well, doesn't he? Looking for that next fence. And look at those ears up throughout. He's just enjoying his outing here at Wexford Equestrian.
Definitely, this will be a great start for him.
Lovely, easy moving horse. Sally Quascadden was saying there in the 7-year-olds, it's a fabulous track here. It is tight enough in there, and they've got to learn their balance and take the fences as they come. It's a great education for them.
Yeah, it's intense how quickly it all comes up, but it's great to get them thinking and ready for when they're getting out into the real open courses.
You see the slow motion shot now of Altito. Came in with a very good placing on the dressage, score 30.75. Quite a long horse, Shan.
Yeah, he's got plenty in front of him.
Nice uphill way of going as well. Must be a super ride.
He'll be one to watch for the future, for sure.
Yeah, lovely class here of 6-year-olds. Altito completes his round, and next in will be number 60, MBF Quick Decision. Bred by David Byrne in County Carlow, written by and owned by Alex Donoghue. MBF, of course, the prefix for Maeve and Brian Flynn. 6-year-old bay gelding by OBUS Quality. We know all about OBUS now. South Grafton Street Class Affair, Monbeg Exclusive, Brookfield Quality. And on the dam line, yes, a mare by the thoroughbred Orbis, going back to a mare by the thoroughbred Garib, out of a Pritish and Laura mare. MBF Quick Decision.
Alex has got some lovely young horses coming up.
She's a lovely mare by the thoroughbred Financial Reward. I'm keeping a close eye on. I love her. I think she's bound for the top. MBF Quick Decision. We're looking at here by OBOS.
She's a little bit greener this mare, but she's jumping everything that she's being pointed at, and she'll come on a lot from this round, I'd say.
Yeah, they're so lucky for the good footing here. Obviously, the all-weather surface. Can't wait for them to get their feet on grass and look forward to the tracks now in the spring, please God. She came in on a 32.5, a nice clear show jumping. Puts them in the reckoning here.
Yeah, very genuine mare. But she hasn't got to that stage yet. She's still a little bit wobbly, but she's doing it all. She obviously has got a good partnership with Alex.
She sits nice and quiet, Alex, doesn't she? And allows the horse to find their balance and find their jump. 62 coming in. Ian Cassell's busy man here today. Yes, riding Rosconnell Alto. Bred by Patrick Leahy up in Laois, owned by Jerry Leahy, and ridden, I say, by Ian Cassell. 6-year-old Chestnut Gelly by Tabasco Van Ekram. Yeah, Tabasco Van Ekram standing at Jude and Claire Cotton's stud in Limerick Junction. Sire of Fernhill Tabasco, of course, to the Emma and Kevin McNabb. Great horse there for the McNabbs. And on the dam line, yes, All Clover by Cavalier Clover. Half by the Tumilridge Aramis. Good novice horse there with Ian Cassell's. And with this horse here, won Lisgarva novice, caught the eye there on the dressage score last year. Won Frankfurt stud pre-novice, so two-time winner last year. Rosconnell Alto.
Yeah, Ian's all look very polished in their work so far. They're really look quite ahead for their age, and I'm sure he'll be taking part in all the Mill Street 2-star young horse classes and Campfire young horse classes, and hope to probably get a horse to Leon or something. I'm sure he'll be a medal contender.
He's smart. Yeah, he won the Ballindennis International there. He was first and second, actually, Ian wasn't he, in the 2-star long there last autumn. Master Point,
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he sits in great balance.
Came in here on a score of 35.25, should I say. Had one rail down, show jumping.
Yeah, lovely rounds. He's a lovely rider to watch.
Yeah, super jumping there. The slow motion shots really show the style and the lovely balance that Ian has. Number 63 should be next. My Bold Decision, bred by Tim Tierney in County Limerick, owned by Carol and Tom Henry. Great owners for Mike and Trish Ryan. And here's their stable jockey as well, Conor Coomey riding here. The 6-year-old bay gelding by Sibon. Sibon, meter 50 show jumper there by Heartbreaker. Out of a thoroughbred mare. So good thoroughbred coming in through Sibon. And then on the dam side, a straight thoroughbred mare by Dubiety. Out of a Mandalas, out of a Deep Run. Mandala's a tremendous national hunt sire here. And of course, Deep Run was champion sire for years and years. And this horse comes in on a 37 score. My Bold Decision.
Yeah, this looks like a nice scopy raw horse. Looks like this will be a nice educational run for him.
Nice and bold through the water.
Yeah, the Ryans have got lots of nice young horses as well all coming up.
Oh yes, look forward to them for the season. Mike and Trish do a great job with them. 2 Olympians themselves, and look forward to them there this season. It'd be great to get going again, but this is a great pipe opener now for these young jockeys. And well done, Conor Coomey doing a super job here with My Bold Decision.
Yeah, he's finishing really well now. He's started to get into a nice rhythm towards the end and starting to sort of use his neck a bit better and showing some lovely jumps.
Mike Edrington Smith said, it's a sign of a good course and a course builder when they improve as they go through their course. And he did that nicely.
Yeah, definitely. He'll deserve his dinner tonight.
By Sibon, out of a thoroughbred mare.
Really nice over that in that slow-mo. Looks pretty smart.
Yeah, good soft hands from Connor as well. That's a good round. Yes, can they be competitive under 37? Hopefully they can. Well, coming in number 67, Good Town Kipper, the 6-year-old grey gelding, bred by Michael O'Sullivan down in Cork, owner ridden by Emma Hosey, the son of Lancelot by the great Voltaire himself. Out of a Kipper Sunrise, White Light on Diamond, out of a Buster King. Buster King is thoroughbred. Coming in on a score of 37.5. Nice clear show jumping, so they carry their dressage score in. He's on springs.
He's having a good look. I think he thinks there's something underneath those. He's giving them plenty of air.
He'd like Kililkey then, wouldn't he, with those ditches under those big oxers there at Kililkey International. You've been over them a lot of times there, Shan.
Yeah, he'd be hailing a cab probably.
We do have great internationals now here in Ireland, don't we? And many years ago, horses would have to travel to get that experience, but we're blessed with some of our tracks here now. And this is a smart horse, this Good Town Kipper.
Yeah, no, we can hear the tannoys from Kililkey from our yard, so it's literally a stone throws away, which is great. Very lucky.
Some very noisy commentators there at times.
Not at all.
Likes to get off this ground, this Lancelot gelding. He's bred some good ones, colour-centric, galvanised, copyright Cooley, Lance a Little, Schindler's Boy.
Yeah, this looks a fun little horse. Woo! Yeah.
Emma's just letting
nice
sit the
to
reins,
see.
letting him get on with it.
Yeah, exactly. It's nice that she's letting him have his neck. And it's great that he responds, when she asks for them to move up, he moves up straight away. So that's a good sign.
He's found his back end well as well, isn't he? He comes right off his hocks and really puts power into his jump. Yeah, we welcome in number 69, Kiltown OBOS, bred by Patrick Doody in Kilkenny, owned by Kiri Moran. Is he ridden by Patrick Whelan? I think he is, and either jockey will do here. Great jockeys, the two of them. By OBOS Quality, the 6-year-old. Out of a mare by Cult Hero, yes, the sire of Bayma Hero. Out of a Lawton's Flight, out of a Kilteely Spring, and out of a mare by the great Ozymandias. Good score. They came in here on a 31.5, the dressage score. Lovely clear show jumping.
Patrick's having a very busy day, but he's doing another good job.
His horse is
really
like
good
to
through there.
operate and always a naturally fast rider, I find, across the country as well. Without putting the horse under any pressure, they travel at a good speed all the time, even his youngsters, and they find it easy.
Definitely, yeah. No, he'd always be one to go for the time. Really nice balance down the drop.
Yeah.
Super.
It's just being allowed to let him moving on, jumping out of stride as well, isn't it? His natural balance is lovely to see.
Definitely, yeah. They've got to be able to come up out the stride and jump fences. It saves time, if they're not having to be adding up.
He was 8th at Punchestown on his only novice start there last year.
Yeah, it was great to be back at Punchestown last year. It was a lovely addition to the circuit.
Number 71 coming in, Mr. OBS Hullabaloo. Ridden by Anna Kennedy in County Kerry. Owned by Mary Boyd and ridden by Blatney Boyd. Another by OBOS Quality. Had a KEC Leopelli, lovely Kennedy horse here, this mare. They've had a lot of Aldatis Z mares breeding from, and they've done very good with them. And this is a half brother to Kilfenora by Maximum Joe, jumping a metre 20, and half to YFS Leopelli by Lancelot, again up to a metre 10. Ran in 2 pre-novices there last year. Comes in at a score 35.5.
This horse seems to be following the fashion with the bit of sheepskin on the reins. I see a lot of riders doing that at the moment to stop it rubbing the side of the neck. Big jump into the water. Very easy way of going. You know, as he gets older, hopefully his front end will come up a little bit and make her life a bit easier on the balance side of things.
Got a little tight in there. It's good to see also that he can get in tight and can get himself out of it easily.
Yeah, you've got to practice those. You've got to be comfortable with being uncomfortable, I think. That was good. That was a nice finish.
Yeah, well able to jump a bank. Mr. OBS Hullabaloo. A lot of what the horses do, it is instinctive, Shan, isn't it? They've got to be able to jump out of instinct as well and save themselves and sort themselves out when they need to.
Oh yeah, I think, you know, it's crucial for when you're jumping solid fences that they've got to respect them and want to be trying to, you know, get their legs out the way.
Next in, 72 should be coming through. Penny Delight. Bred by Brian Maguire. Oh, Brian, yes, the breeder of course, Bayma Hero, the Rolex winner. Ridden by Alex Donoghue. Penny Delight, traditionally bred by the thoroughbred Superior Premium. Out of a mare by Cuva's Diamond Boy, out of a Penistone mare, out of a Bahrain mare. Half brother to Bungola Diamond Time, 2-star horse over in Italy. And Cooley Caviar, 3-star horse in USA. Comes in on a good score. He's right up there on a 31.5. Clear show jumping.
Just jumping out to the right a little bit at the moment, just showing a little bit of the greenness. That was nice, didn't they? He looked before he went, and that's good. Just a little bit disunited and just a little bit unbalanced, but it'll come on a lot from this and be ready for the season.
Yeah,
very good.
Learning along the way. Very good. Yeah, well done, Penny Delight. Well done, Alex Donoghue. Just watch the slow motion here of number 72, the last of our 6-year-olds. Lovely spring off the ground with that roll top.
Yeah, lovely genuine horse.
Yes, he's bred some right ones, Brian Maguire. And see how Penny Delight will do here. Yes, they go up into 4th spot, but our winner goes to a BJ Key Valentine. Owned and ridden by Christine O'Donnell. On their dressage score, 26.75. The only horse to get into the 20s in the dressage. So well done, Christine. Altito into 2nd spot. Owned and ridden by Patrick Whelan on a 30.75. And in 3rd again, Patrick holding on to 3rd on Piltown OBOS. Just 0.8 behind the 2nd spot on 31.5. Sharing that with Alex Donahue and Penny Delight. So well done to our 6-year-olds. Thanks, Sean, for your company and expert commentary there on these smart 6-year-olds. Look forward to seeing you later on during the season.
My pleasure. Thank you. It was good to watch it.
For anybody, the Olympics is the pinnacle of their career. It's not everybody can be an Olympian, and to bring home an Olympic medal will be something very special and something we're really pushing for and putting blood, sweat and tears into, so hopefully we can make it happen.
You dream as a kid, you watch it as a kid. I mean, it's different. The whole world is involved in the Olympics, you know. Europeans or World Games, it's not really the same. I mean, the Olympics it's more to the public, and it's just the pinnacle of anyone's career to get there.
Ever since I was young, I just always wanted to go to an Olympics. I think I've been shortlisted maybe about 3 times. I was very close to London, and unfortunately it didn't happen. And I'm no spring chicken. I'm not getting any younger, unfortunately. I would love to get to go to an Olympics. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But I really would love to get there.
Not many people can say they've been Olympians and been there and done it. So I think just everybody wants to be able to say that they've been to one. And I suppose with eventing, there's a lot of talk about whether it's going to be around at the Olympics for years to come. So, you know, everybody's really fighting for their spot to get there.
The Olympics definitely changed my life, I think, in a sense, because what we do as equestrians doesn't always get beyond that to the general public, whereas people have a different understanding of the Olympics, and it really is just an incredible event to be a part of.
It's an experience of a lifetime, and nothing really prepares you for that in Olympic Games. So the harder you train and the better you know your horse, and the more prep you have done, the better. You really couldn't have enough prep done.
Hey, I hope you're all enjoying this Horseport Ireland Autumn Development Series. I know we are for sure. And great privilege now to welcome in to help commentate here William Micklem. William Micklem, consummate horseman, international coach, author, inventor of the world-renowned Micklem bridle, breaker and the breeder of the World Breeders' Federation top horse of 2010 Mandiba, and of course the Olympic High Kingdom, and their own brother, the exciting stallion at Jackaroo, the source and finder of Bico, custom made and gilt edge for Karen and David O'Connor and Jackie Mars. Welcome, William. William, we're about to look at some very smart 5-year-olds here. Love these young horse futurities. Looking for hopefully another of one of those great horses that you've been able to find here in the 5-year-olds here at Wexford Equestrian. Welcome, William.
Thank you, Chris. I'm very excited. There's nothing I like more than looking at these young horses. And in truth, in general, the group of young horses we're about to see are very special. You won't find them around the rest of the world. Now, that's a big statement, but there are two main reasons for this. Number one is that these horses are turned out. Now, that sounds simplistic, but our young horses, we have more space in Ireland, and it's traditional to turn our young horses out, and they go up and uphill and down dale and through water, and this makes a huge difference. Whereas so many young horses that are exclusively prepared for the dressage and show jumping world, they only see flat arenas, they only see indoor schools, and they get little turnout. So it makes a huge difference to their physical and mental development by being turned out. And then secondly, we have over the last number of years really invested in riders. The best examples are Cooley Sport Horses with Richard Shane and Fernhill Sport Horses with Carol G. They have invested in good riding because they know that makes all the difference. So all the riders that you will see here in this group are fantastic.
Yeah, and here's one for sure to start us off. Lot 95, Clara Road. Bred by Michael Byrne in Wicklow, owned by Nick Pomeroy, ridden by Olympian Michael Ryan. This fighter by gelding by Cavalier Land. Yes, out of an Aldatus mare. That mare, the downline going back to a mare by the 5-star Cruising, and then to a Horace mare. Horace, of course, straight thoroughbred. The dam half-sister to Stella King's Cruise, a good 2-star international horse with Kiva Evers. And here they came in on a score of 23.5. They are right up in contention here. Clara Road, number 95.
Yeah, and Michael Ryan is a fantastic cross-country rider, and you can see his horse here starting off a little green, but I guarantee that the more fences they jump, the better this horse will go, because Michael gives his horses confidence, and that's an absolute key thing. And early on, the horses learn to trust their riders, and they learn that it's all about partnership.
Yeah, a little bit green coming into the water, and to find his balance, and Mike just allows them the time to do that, isn't it? And they've got to find their balance, haven't they, with the help from their rider. But
yes, and this period of time is so important. I was reading that Willie Mullins, on average, gives his horses much more time than the other top trainers to come to themselves after coming out of other yards. And it's the same here. We have to give time. It's the most precious and valuable thing that we have in horse training, is to give them time. That's why this series is so terrific, because without being over stressful, it just gives them that introduction they need.
yeah, well done, Mike. Dick Pomeroy. They should have very well with a very smart Clara Ooh La La in the 7-year-olds, and a smart youngster here, this 5-year-old. We watched the slow motion. There's no hiding place in slow motion, is there, William? And it's great to see it. Now, coming
There
in,
isn't.
Shannondale Dillard comes in there for number 96 on our card, bred by Shannondale Stud. Tremendous event horse breeder, Shannondale. Yes, owned and ridden by Louise Codd. This 5-year-old gelding by Shannondale Sarko, out of a lovely thoroughbred mare from Shannondale Stud itself. Yeah, Shannondale Sarko, the sire of Shannondale Mari, Shannondale Icarus, Cape Hollow Drift, Teddy Sarko, etc.
So you won't find a more stylish rider than Louise Codd. You can see how she allows the horse to do the work. It's the horse that does the jumping, not the rider, and we sometimes forget that. And her horses go calmly forwards and straight, just the same as in a dressage arena where we want them calm forwards and straight. They need to be exactly the same across country in their jumping, and Louise really gives her horses the right preparation for this. This horse is just under 70% thoroughbred, and you know, I always say that the 3/4 bred horse is king, and we have to look for the future with these young horses. We're looking at horses which will go to the very highest level, so they have to be able to gallop, and they need to have this sort of level of quality in gallop.
Yeah, the dam line here, straight thoroughbred. Yes, millinery. Then out of a beneficial mare, he's been top national hunt sire, beneficial. And Lord America, good hard knocking thoroughbred sire as well.
But it's a very difficult thing for riders to say, well, I'm going to let my horses work this out. I'm going to let my horse do some of the thinking. But this is what the top riders do, because they want to develop the horse's fifth leg. In other words, they want the horse to look after them when they're in trouble. And Louise Codd is just a master at that.
And a lovely lady with it as well.
Just beautiful harmony. So impressive. Maximum result from minimum effort. And of course, that's what makes a good cross-country round, because you want to save time. You don't want the horses to jump very high in the air, because that wastes time. You don't want them to give them the show jumpers flash. You want them to jump efficiently. And there's an efficient horse.
We welcome in, yes, 110, Garty Express. Patrick Whelan, busy man down here, Patrick. This Garty Express, bred by Daniel Herbert in Kildare, owned and ridden by Patrick Whelan, son of the very smart Colin Diamond, a Diamond lad horse, Colin Diamond, yes, smashing horse, Colin Diamond. And then on the dam side, Garty Diamond mauled by Shakoa out of a maul striker out of a Glidon Diamond. Came in on a score of 28.25.
Yeah, these horses with a little bit of King of Diamonds in them, and the breeding from Kildalton College, the Irish draft breeding, it gives the horses this intelligence. And without doubt, if you train a lot of horses, you realize that some horses think for themselves, some horses have the right character and intelligence, and some horses don't. But King of Diamonds gives them this intelligence and this courage. So he just went through that water as though he'd been doing it all his life. The important thing is not to frighten the horse with the waters. You introduce every single exercise in a progressive way. But such an exciting rider we have here, just as all these riders are. And they're very important for the Irish horse industry, because they are setting an example for our young riders. They're showing our young riders how to sit still, how to be effective but not rough.
Yeah, lovely soft hands from Patrick over the last fence. Good drop to that last fence, and shows a immediate balance on the landing stride.
Well, that's why this arena is so fabulous, because we used to have more arenas like this years and years ago, but now they're coming back where there's some variety, uphill, downhill, hedges, ditches, water. It's the most wonderful preparation for the young horses and for our pleasure riders, because pleasure riders need a horse that can cope with all sorts of conditions and do a bit of dressage, jump small fences, go out hacking, jump a few show jumps. In other words, eventing, I see, is at the heart of all horse sports.
Well done, William, and your heart's in this sport for sure. 111, all the ones, is HVL Ravensdale, bred by Tina McDermott up in Wicklow, owned by Sharon Power and ridden by Leanne Foskin. By Arestus, yes, the son of Indocto Arestus, Olympic show jumper himself, out of a mare by the great Voltaire. Coming in on a very good score as well of 25.75 and a clear show jumping around. So they're on the dressage score.
Yes, it's interesting that you being a student of breeding, I know that on the dam side we have a thoroughbred horse called Cottage Sun, who's a legend in racing breeding, because his son, Sheila's Cottage, won the Grand National, and then there's Cottage Rake, who won the Gold Cup, which is coming up this week at Cheltenham. He won it 3 times. And Cottage Sun is one of the gods of warm blood breeding. And the interesting thing is that most of the Cottage Suns have wonderful paces, which means that they're good for the dressage. And Christine Stuckelberger had the very famous Olympic gold medalist, European gold medalist, World Championship gold medalist, Grenat, who was by a son of Cottage Sun. So it's very interesting to see the backbreeding.
Yeah, and on the dam side here, Voltaire is by Furioso, and Furioso will go back to another great thoroughbred, wouldn't he, William? The great Furioso.
Yes, When I pick out 4 thoroughbreds, but he's Furioso. There's Rantzau, Lucky Boy, and Lady Killer. I know you're particularly a fan of Lady Killer, but the show jumpers really love those horses. So we forget that there's thoroughbred blood in the warm blood breeding. But we need horses for eventing that have sufficient gallop. Now, this horse has been a little green at times, but the rider has been very sympathetic.
Yeah, super right from Deanne Foskin here.
What I mean by a little green is that the horse lacks a little bit of experience at the moment. It's still finding things out, but ridden like this will do nothing but get better and better and better.
She puts the horse nicely up in front of her, gives him the confidence to get into that water.
With the next horse, we'll look to see how the front legs are going into the water. It's very important on takeoff that the 2 hind legs are together, but people forget it's very important for the drops and the water fences that the 2 front legs are apart. We'll have a look at this horse when it does the water.
Well done. We'll welcome in 115 Anamore Noble Beach, bred by Aoife Haley in County Offaly, owned and ridden by Daisy Duggan. Yes, by Beach Ball. Beach Ball, again, is some OBS quality. We've seen a lot of OBS already there today. Beach Ball, good sire there, OBS sire. And then out of a Cavalier Royale mare, out of a mare then by Diamonds or Trumps. Half brother to Cuffs Grange Arch Royale. Nicely bred here. This 4-star event with Charlotte Jenkins. Arch Vivendi horse at Cuffs Grange Arch Royale is a half brother. Good score coming in, 29.5 and clear.
Now, Daisy's had a pretty all-round education, including riding National Hunt herself. And her father rode round the famous Aintree Grand National course. So she's very experienced. And she absolutely adores what she's doing. And I think that's true of most riders who work with event horses. It gives them a real thrill to go across country. And I forgot to remind us to look at the front legs, but even though the horse jumped big into the water, the front legs were apart. And we'll look at the next horse as well.
You're looking for them to keep that balance. The
important thing is if the front legs land together, that's when the horse is a little frightened. The front legs lock out, rather like a horse sleeping in the stable. When there's weight in the legs and the legs are straight, literally the joints don't work, they lock out. So a lot of people say there's a hole in the water or a hole after a drop. But what has happened is the horse has been a bit frightened and the front legs land together as opposed to apart. So if you look at him landing now on a normal fly fence, the front legs are apart. And people forget to look at that. And then if we have another shot sideways later on, we want the hind legs together, which is different for a jump than from the normal canter. So on takeoff, the hind legs should come together. And you saw it perfectly there, how the 2 hind legs came together. But coming out of the water, the 2 hind legs were apart. So that's a little bit of greenness, but the judges will be, and the trainers will be watching for that. So that horse will stay at a lower level until the hind legs become better on takeoff.
Yeah, better connections. 117, Telebars Nobody Knows here. Bred and owned by Hans Kunle, ridden by Amanda Goldsbury. Amanda won all before her there last year. This son of their great stallion Tullibard's Benny's Legacy. He's a smashing horse. Benny's Legacy, the sire here. Nations Cup and the meter 60 winner, Benny's Legacy. And then on the dam side, you've got Tullibard's Hot Shot by Cruises Making Phil. Out of a Grandeur, out of a Julio Mariner. There's a horse, again, a lovely thoroughbred coming in by Blakeney, yes, and a St. Ledger winner, Julio Mariner. Coming in on a good score, 24.5. The dressage score, Tullibard's Nobody Knows.
Now, the interesting thing, Chris, about Julia Mariner is that he was sold to Holland because they knew that he had jumping ability, and he was sold to be used in the sport horse world. He didn't get that many mares, but gosh, he had an influence.
I know Jan Grev has it, isn't he? And he knows his thoroughbreds, Jan Grev. Jan Grev, tremendous breeder in Holland. Stood the great Voltaire as well, didn't he? And
that's right.
Wow.
So this horse has everything. This horse has everything. I mean, he's a real one for the future. I know that he has the 3 wonderful paces, and I think it's important to have all 3 paces, not just a good walk and canter. People talk about developing the trot, but I think nowadays you need all 3 paces plus you need the jumping ability, but in particular you need the right brain. So you can see him as he comes down to the fence here. He's sizing up the fence himself, and that's super important. I say again about the fifth leg that the horse has to be trained to take some responsibility. It's a sort of contract with the rider. The horse has to fulfill its part of the deal to look after the rider. So coming down into water there, he does a nice little trot step to sort things out. Where are the hind legs on coming out? Well, they're almost totally together, so much better than the other horse that we mentioned.
But the man
what
just
a
sits
lovely
there.
horse.
Oh, yeah. No, nicely done. Well done, Hans. Next one in, 118, EPA Endeavour. Bred by Jim O'Connell in Offaly. Owned by Elizabeth Ahern and our rider here, Felicity Ward. State Partnership had a very good horse at the Go for Go last year, sold well, EPA Wildfire. Yes, this horse, 5-year-old by Brandy Gelding by Arestus, son of Indoctro, out of a traditionally bred mare by Dockleaf, the thoroughbred Dockleaf. Coming in on a very, very good score, 23.5, the dressage score. They have the winning of this, perhaps.
Yeah, again, another very classy combination, but Felicity gives them such a good grounding, again, in all three departments. But people say that you can work with horses that are dressage specialists to win in eventing. But the thing is that you need to be able to go the speeds across country, and not just go the speed, but easily go the speed, because it's all about safety. And the closer you are to the horse's maximum speed, the greater the risk. So you need to be able to go well within a horse's maximum speed across country, and of course well within their maximum jump, and that makes everything safer. And this applies to all levels of eventing. So even for lower level riders and more amateur riders, I would suggest that it's very important to have a horse that has sufficient gallop.
Yeah, and you see the ones in the last quarter of the track that are starting to run out of juice when you get up to 3-star and above now, the new 3-star, William. And they've got to be able to travel easy to retain their balance and not be taking chances. Smashing over the last fence, this EPA Endeavour. Look at stride on him.
I mean, the only complaint used to be at Badminton was about the short run-up after the cross-country, because so many horses were still pulling a double handful, and that was in the days of steeplechase and roads and tracks. And now that most of the horses pull up pretty quickly. So we need to get back again to horses that have sufficient gallop and that they find life easier. Again, fascinating watching these horses through the water and see the ones that jump the fences just like fly fences, as opposed to making differences in their jump.
Next in, yes, 120, Via Victory, bred by David Mangan in Waterford, owned by Carol and Tom Henry, great owners for Mike and Trish Ryan, ridden here by Michael Ryan. This 5-year-old by Chinook Eclipse, the sire of their great Dunrath Eclipse. What a servant he's been for Trish Ryan and Mike. Out of a mare by Clover Brigade. Again, not far out of the reckoning on a score, 25.5.
Oh, I really like this horse, and he's 70% thoroughbred. So again, getting close to that, what I said about the 3/4 bred horse being king. And Michael knows what is required at the highest level, and I think that's also important. He trains one section of the 3-day eventing with a view to the other sections, but he also trains the lowest levels with a view to the highest level, and that's so important. So the more exposure all of our riders can have to what is required at the highest level, it's very important.
But Mike seems as happy here on these youngsters as he is going around Badminton and Burley.
Oh, it comes back to what I was saying about love. You know, if you really love what you're doing and you really love the young horse work, each day goes very quickly and goes with great pleasure. And I think if you're doing a sport, doing anything with horses, you're not really loving it, then you have a problem. If you really love it, you develop this special relationship with your horses, and they respect you and you respect them.
Chinook Eclipse, thoroughbred sire, the sire of Via Victory, the sire of their great Dunrath Eclipse.
So let's watch him going into the water, Chris. See what happens with his hind legs going into the water. So the hind legs are apart, as opposed to together. So it just needs more practice, more work, and the hind legs are apart coming out. But that will change because Mike will make sure that he doesn't go to jumping more difficult waters until that becomes absolutely bread and butter to him.
Fine big raw horse, yes. 1, 2, 3 coming in. Elmore Earhart. It is for our breeder PJ Howley in County Mayo, ridden by Daisy Duggan. This 5-year big gelding by OBUS quality. You've seen a lot of OBUS, haven't we? Yes. And out of a mare by Harlequin de Corral, going back to a Clover Hill mare, and then to a mare by the Thoroughbred Copy. Own brother to the meter 15 show jumper quality JP. Comes in on a good score, 27.5. Nicely a show jumping from Elmore Earhart.
So this is an exciting horse for Daisy. Not the finished article by any means. It needs more work. We'll be coming back here again probably next year as well. But what potential this horse has. 3 fabulous paces, a natural medium trot, bags of scope. But just has got to learn his ABCs, and how sensible of Daisy to let him trot to that water. He's got the 2 hind legs together. People forget about the trot. I always remember Ian Stark saying there's no difficult distance as long as you can remember to use the trot. And there was a very difficult distance in Bromont, the Olympic Games, and Ian Stark just trotted in on, I think it was Murphy himself, and made the difficult distance so easy because he was able to get the stride in without a problem.
Exciting young 5-year-old, this Elmore Earhart. Read by PJ Howley. I'm sure that's the PJ Howley that has Sligo Candy Boy up there, up west.
Now, I mentioned earlier on about the horses needing to be calm, forwards and straight, and you could see there that the horse is moving to the right, coming into the fence, and he's doing that consistently. So Daisy has to work at the basic flat work and the jumping to get the horse to become straighter and not move to the right all the time. Lovely jump in. And got the 2 hind legs together on the way out. So this, if she can be patient with this horse and get the straightness there, gosh, what a combination we have.
We welcome in 1, 2, 4 Telebard's Benny Special. Yes, bred by Kedra House Stud, owned by Hans Kunle, and ridden by Michael McNally. By again Tulliver's Benny's Legacy. We saw that lovely mare by Benny's Legacy a couple of horses ago. Here's another one. And then out of a mare by Cavalier Royale, and then going back to a mare by the Thoroughbred Red Butler. Competitive score coming in 24.75. Oh yeah, 1 rail down, 28.75. Their score coming into cross country.
You will obviously remember the great Kilbaha with John Leddingham, winner of the Hickstead Derby, winner of the Hamburg Derby, and I think the record for the number of Nations Cups appearances. He had Red Butler on his dam side. The other interesting thing in connection with show jumping is that a few years ago, the show jumpers would look at these horses going and saying they're going a bit quick for show jumping. But as horses go faster now in the show jumping, the speed that these horses are going here today is very similar to what you would get with any horses going show jumping. And the styles have become much more the same. I was watching Cian O'Connor jump Kilkenny and to be third in the wonderful 5-star event in Florida over the weekend. And Cian's balance is just like this from beginning to end. He sits very light. The balance is very consistent. And that's the way things have moved. And it gives the horse the maximum chance. It's, of course, the same with the National Hunt jockeys. The best of them, even though they ride shorter, is they keep a very consistent balance. You could see that there was a problem with this horse going to the water. He was a bit green. But Michael sat as still as a mouse, and the horse will have benefited from this experience.
Yes, he's a smashing rider, Michael. He has the great Eclipto to look forward to there this season. Again, lovely international horse. He's had great results on Eclipto. And some lovely youngsters as well. Well done, Michael. Now, 1, 2, 6. Louise Codd coming in on the Nicholas Cousins bred Monbeg Ainsley. Some big names here. Yes, Monbeg, Marty and Tomas Doyle's great prefix. 5-year-old by the late Des Nocta's Emperor Augustus. Yeah, thoroughbred on the top line here. Out of a Tullabeg mare by Ramiro B. Up with the Tullabeg Twilight by Dignified. Good novice winner there last year. Monbeg Ansley, 126.
So I'm sure this will be very high up in the prizes. 75% thoroughbred. Emperor Augustus produces very good looking horses, and this horse is no exception. And interestingly, the dam is by AP Indy, who in America has forged a name for himself as a sire of performance horses.
Yeah, they are competitive coming in a score.
He says, what's happening? Now, the important thing is that they have a look, but then they go forwards. And I like horses to have a look. The horses that just charge without looking when they're young horses, they're not safe. They're not the ones that will progress. And I wish I could win the lotto, and I would send half a dozen horses to Louise Codd without question, because she is such a stylist, and horses love her, and all they do is get better and better and better. And it's the real sign of a good rider is, do the horses improve? And in Louise's case, there's no doubt that they do.
Super jump over the drop fence for Monbeg Ansley. Came in at a very good score, 25.5. Nothing to add in the show jumping. So they're going to finish on the dressage score. They're going to put him into the reckoning. Well done, Monbeg Ansley.
So we'll see what happens in the water here. It's a little unsure, backs off a little bit, encouragement. A big flat leap in, but the two hind legs together. And a better leap out. But by the time he's done that water half a dozen times, he would be at home with that. But the important thing is to allow him to do that, to give him the time.
Lovely
and a
pat
bit
down
far
the
off
neck.
the fence. But they have to be, the horses have to learn to get both far off the fences and deep to the fences without panicking. It's part of the bargain. They look.
The last of our 5-year-olds come in, My Bright Spark. Bred by Miley Summers, great breeder, producer down in Wexford, yeah, Miley, and owned by Karen and Tom Henry, ridden by Mike Ryan. This Bay filly by Quantino. Yeah, great show jumper there for Dennis Lynch. Quantino by Quartz by Contiro. And then out of a mare, Cavalier Forces by Cavalier Clover Land. After a bit much, Brave Cavalier and Glengara Wood.
Yeah, Carol and Tom Henry have been such wonderful supporters of the Ryans, and haven't they had fun? I heard Tom Henry talking about his experiences with his horses, and they've been truly life-changing experiences. And that's what people who work with horses have to eventually learn, is it's all about people. Whoops, and a big hesitation, but then Michael says, come on, old son, you can cope with this, and away he goes. But definitely a horse for the future. But riders have to learn to get on with their owners. The riders have to learn to get on with the people looking after the horses and the trainers. It's no good being a lone vessel. You have to work with a team and learn how to build up a team. And I suppose the Karen O'Connor, who's I used to teach and had a very famous Biko, to me that was always her greatest strength. It was her ability to build teams. And of course, Michael's best team member is his wife, Patricia. They work very well together. So here's a young horse, but in 6 months' time, you'll hardly recognize this horse going around that sort of competition.
Yeah, My Bright Spark. We've had a lovely selection of fillies in these Horseport Ireland classes. Great to see these fillies coming out as top performance mares, and in their time, hopefully we'll bring these very smart genes into the next generation.
So Michael had a horse called Old Road, am I right, Chris?
Yes, by Puissance. Brilliant old fella.
By Puissance, who's probably one of the best cross-country horses has ever been in the world. Ridden by Mike all the way through his career. And what an exciting thing it was seeing him ride at the highest level. And I'm sure that some of these horses will be going on to the highest level.
No, good on you. And they're in good hands, as you said. Yes, we have a result coming up in for this Horseport Ireland Autumn Development Series 5 final results. Yes, the win belongs to EPA Endeavour, Felicity Ward. They're actually on a joint score here, 23.5. She and Mike Ryan on the lovely Clara Road. And I think it's probably the difference being the dressage collectives, because they are tied on 23.5. In third, oh yes, nobody knows. This Telebos, nobody knows. What a smart mare. Impressed William. It's impressed us all. Amanda Goldsby, what an immaculate mare she is. Nobody knows. On a 24.5 to finish third. In fourth and fifth, actually joined fourth, Mike Ryan again via victory, and Louise Codd on the lovely Monbeg Ainsley. And that wraps up our 5-year-olds. William, a final word to you again, smashing a bunch of 5-year-olds.
Oh, absolutely. And my interest is seeing their development over the coming months and into the coming years. And of course, it's a development not just over the cross-country fences, it's a development in the dressage, development in the show jumping and the cross-country. And as I said, that's what makes eventing so special. No coach can do their education unless they learn about the three main disciplines. And they are at the heart of, they are the core of training. And they're also at the core of pleasure riding for us all. So it makes Ireland, as a producer of the world's best event horses, it also makes them the place where the best pleasure riding horses are produced for everybody who wants to ride at all levels.
Well, yes, good. I hope you've enjoyed this live stream. All the rounds, of course, will be up on the Clip My Horse website. Huge thanks to Sally Corskadden, to Sean Coleman, and to William. You've been brilliant, William. Thanks to HSI and to TRM for the sponsorship. Hope you can join us there next Monday evening for the Horseport Ireland classes coming out of Barnadown. From Bit Media, from Wexford Equestrian. God bless all, and many thanks for joining us. I hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll see you soon.